Hello, everybody out there in Cyberland. This is Bruce Deary speaking. First, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch my video here. This is a subject that I'm very passionate about. My interest in consumer advocacy goes back to the 80s. Yeah, you can tell I'm not 30 or 40 and that I'm a baby boomer. Anyhow, I just finished writing an article for eZine Articles, and the subject is MLM due diligence. Tips, suggestions, and tough questions to ask. Unfortunately, altogether too many people do not do a thorough due diligence when they're seeking a business opportunity. And unfortunately, the result is often that people make a mistake. We all make mistakes, and choose a company that turns out to be a mistake, that can turn out to be costly, not only in terms of time, but money and effort and frustration and disappointment. So what I'm going to be sharing here is hopefully going to help you avoid some of the mistakes that I've made over the years. Okay, let's start off with tips. The first tip is do not sign up with friends, family, or relatives. You know, I'm sure that they're all well-intentioned, but more often than not, they're either misinformed or uninformed, or passing along secondhand information. Second tip, please do not, I encourage you not to sign up at a home meeting or a hotel meeting, and most importantly, a regional meeting or a national meeting. The reason being is they're usually guest speakers that have been paid not a finder's fee, a recruiting bonus, just like professional athletes, by the owners of the company, to sort of be the Pied Pipers and the spokesman for the company. They tend to be charismatic, they tend to be motivational, and they understand clearly that most people are right-brained. That is to say, they make emotional decisions rather than logical decisions. And they're professional dream sellers, and they will play to your emotions. They know how to do it well, and the most successful recruiting venues for any MLM company is regional and national meetings. Okay, the next one, I'm going to take the liberty of referring to my notes occasionally. Okay, unfortunately, I don't have the liberty of a teleprompter, and my memory's not what it used to be. So, yeah, don't take anything at face value. I like to trust people, but when you're making a business decision, don't take anything at face value. If you expect, you need to inspect. And as I kind of said before, don't allow yourself to make an emotional decision that you may regret later. You're making, a business decision that involves money, time, and commitment. Okay, next I'm going to talk about some do's rather than don'ts, some suggestions, okay? First, do your own due diligence. Don't rely on what somebody else tells you. Do a thorough Google internet search about not only the company, but the owners and the product. And a good source for information is to go for MLM reviews on eZine Articles. There's a wealth of information there. Do check with the Better Business Bureau and also with the local Chamber of Commerce. Find out what the rating of the company is. Like I said, I'm going to refer to my notes. Do a thorough Google search of the company and the owner's legal history, past and present. That's really important and often is overlooked. Unfortunately, what we see is not always what we get, and like the expression goes, there are sharks in their waters, unfortunately. Also, there are a couple of really good consumer advocacy websites that you can check on. One of them is called MLM-thewholetruth.com. The other one is called pyramidschemealerts.org. Both of them are great sources of information. And last but not least, do check with your state's Attorney General's office. Okay, there are laws that are supposed to be followed by MLMs, and You know, there may or may not have been some involvement with the Attorney General's office, but you need to check that out. Okay, the last area is do not be afraid to ask tough questions. Again, you're looking for a business opportunity. I've got a list of 12 or 13 of them. I can't remember them all, so again, I'm going to use my paper teleprompter here. Okay, 1, when did you start the company? And when you started it, did you offer signing bonuses to your initial founders that you intend to be the motivational spokesman for your company? And are they still with the company? 2, how many reps have actually signed up since day 1? More importantly, how many of those reps are still with the company, i.e., what is the turnover? Are you willing to disclose the average compensation of representatives by rank? Okay, including those representatives that made 0 income but still are active in the company. You should ask the question, what can I expect my real-world expenses to be, including the opportunity fee, including business cards, including replicated websites, including access to the back office to run my business, including promotional materials, including the cost of renting hotel rooms for meetings, and including the cost of attending national and regional meetings. More often than not, that's probably going to range somewhere from $1,500 to $2,000 plus. A lot of people often ignore that. The opportunity fee is $200, but when it comes to real world, they're going to have a couple $1,000s worth of expenses. What percentage of the product that is sold is actually sold to customers who are not representatives of the company? Important question. How long do the non-representatives that are purchasing products typically buy products before they actually cancel their auto ship program? Another important question, because that totally affects whether or not you're going to earn residual income. Have there been any class action suits or current lawsuits? Do the owners have any past? Very, very important. Do the owners have any past or current legal challenges? Does the Direct Sellers Association, known as the DSA, actually represent the consumers the way it's supposed to, or does it represent the MLM companies that are part of that association? It's kind of like local, regional, and national bar associations are supposed to be representing the consumer, but more often than not, they're representing and protecting the attorneys. Unfortunate, but true. And last but not least, I'd like to ask the question, I know what the reply is, but, why do I have to pay an opportunity fee to sell your products? When I can get a sales job with, literally any company that doesn't cost me anything, and more often than not, they're going to pay me a salary, pay my expenses, at the very least pay me a draw against commissions. Ask them to explain that to you. Again, I know the answer, but it's an interesting question. Preferably, you'd ask these questions to an owner, as opposed to a friend, neighbor, or relative, again. And if you feel that you get, answers to those questions that you're satisfied with, and you feel that you can be passionate about the product or service, hey, go for it. If not, I'd listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and I'd encourage you to continue your search, because there are a lot of legitimate companies out there that are more than willing to give you candid, straightforward answers. I hope this has been helpful to you, and hope to see you in the future. Have a great day. Bye.